There are cities that welcome you, and then there are cities that watch you. This one did the second. I noticed it the moment my taxi crossed the old iron bridge, the way the fog sat low over the water, how the buildings rose like they were keeping secrets, not history, stone, steel, silence. Even the river looked disciplined, as if it knew better than to make noise here. Port Valen. That was the name on my contract. Temporary assignment, they said. 6 months, they said. Crisis intervention support for high-risk populations. They didn't say Mafia City. They didn't say controlled territory. They definitely didn't say don't ask questions. But cities like this don't need explanations. They teach you the rules by letting you survive them. The clinic was located near the port. Too close, in my opinion. I could smell salt and oil through the open windows. Ships moved slowly in the distance, massive and quiet, like predators that didn't need speed. I placed my bag down and looked around my new office. Neutral colors, soft lighting, a couch that had seen too many stories and not enough rest. Whoever designed therapy rooms understood one thing very well. Pain doesn't like bright places. I checked my schedule. 3 appointments. The 4th slot was blocked. No name. Just a note. On call. Do not cancel. I frowned. I hadn't even started working here yet, and someone was already deciding my time for me. That should have been my first warning. By late afternoon, the city had changed. The fog lifted slightly, just enough to show the outlines of power. Black cars, men in tailored coats, security that didn't wear uniforms. People walked faster when certain vehicles passed. No one stared. No one lingered. Trauma wears different faces in different cities. Here, it wore restraint. My 3rd patient left quietly, her eyes still glassy, her hands trembling less than when she arrived. Small wins mattered in my profession. You learned to celebrate them silently. I was writing my notes when the clinic door opened again. I didn't look up immediately. That was habit. Let the client breathe first. Let the room settle. Then I felt it. The shift. Pressure. Subtle but undeniable, like the air had thickened. I raised my head. He hadn't stepped inside fully. One hand rested on the doorframe. Tall. Dressed in black, not casually, not fashionably, deliberately. His presence didn't rush the room, it claimed it. Behind him, 2 men waited. They didn't come in. They didn't need to. I was told to come here, he said. His voice was calm. Not cold, not warm, controlled. I stood. I'm Dr. Alara Quinn, I said. This clinic is appointment only. His eyes flicked briefly to the empty chair opposite me, then back to my face. Then consider this one kept. There was no arrogance in his tone. That unsettled me more than arrogance ever could. I gestured to the chair, slowly. You can sit, if you want. He did. The men outside stayed exactly where they were. I noted that. Power doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it waits to see if you recognize it. What brings you here? I asked. A pause, not hesitation, calculation. I need you, he said. Just that. No explanation, no drama. I had worked with soldiers, criminals, politicians, survivors, people who begged, people who lied. No one had ever said it like that. I met his gaze. That's not how this works? For the first time, something shifted behind his eyes. Interest. "So tell me how it works," he replied. I didn't know it then, but that question would follow me long after he left, and long after I realized who he was.
I don't go places like clinics. I don't sit on couches meant for broken people, and I don't ask for help. But Port Valen was changing, and change attracts weakness or exposes it. Dr. Alara Quinn wasn't what I expected. No fear in her eyes, no curiosity disguised as courage. She didn't overcompensate with confidence either. She just watched. Most people looked at me like they were already apologizing for something. She looked like she was listening. That made her dangerous. I had read her file before I came. Crisis therapist, international experience, specialized in acute trauma. She had worked in war zones, disaster areas, places where people learned how thin the line between control and chaos really was. She wasn't naive. That's why I was here. "Why me?" she asked. "Because you don't flinch," I thought. "Because you haven't tried to fix me yet. Because you don't know who I am, and you will soon enough." Instead, I said, "Because you don't belong here." Her pen paused. "Interesting." "You don't know me," she said. I stood. "I know enough." I walked out before she could ask the wrong question, or before I stayed long enough to answer the right one. Outside, the city waited. So did the consequences.